What's going on, Archivist, and welcome to the Staple List, a new series to be your guide for all the cards you need in the Grand Archive TCG. Now, before we start, let me tell you what I define as a staple. Because the deck building in GA is so open and diverse, a staple should be a card that you can own and put into almost any deck that you play, whether it's a crucial piece to that deck strategy or a card that is just too good not to have. And of course, because it's GA, we have to start with the Regalias. Because if you want to win games in GA, these are the cards you simply have to own. The best part, spend once and play it in everything. Let's hop into it. So starting off with our draw cards, we have the Grand Crusader's Ring, which is, along with Dungeon Guide, the other card that I would tell every new player to just bite the bullet and buy it. This card kind of holds its value. If you look at the price chart for this, yes, it was a little bit more expensive, around $80 here, but holding around 65 and even being at its lowest like 57 here. If you look at the entire year's graph, like basically $45 to $50. Don't look at the financial aspect of the game and be like, oh, like I'm gonna lose so much money on it, because first of all, it's a game, right? We're playing this for enjoyment. Picking up a card, however, and knowing that if you do want to get out of the game, you spent, let's say you spend 65, right? And you only sell it for 50. You spent $15 for your enjoyment of the game. You're not taking a loss. You spend $15 to enjoy the game. That's how I like to look at it. So I would tell you to pick up Grand Crusader's Ring, whichever copy you can get that is cheaper. I'm actually very surprised to see a DOA first edition GCR at around 71 bucks. I might honestly pick that up because I don't have a first edition. I have an Ultra edition. So yeah, if you don't see this by the time it's posted, then you know what might have happened. But yeah, bite the bullet on this, pick this up. This card just says it's a 0 cost to materialize Divine Relic, meaning you can only have one card with that keyword in your material deck. Banish it, draw a card. This card represents a free card draw. In every card game, draw is king, right? More cards is king. Influence is a thing that matters. This card gives you that. There's a reason it's 65 bucks. Just pick it up. It's the only other card I will tell you outside of Dungeon Guide. Bite the bullet, pick it up. Now we've got Backup Charger, which is what I like to refer to as the poor man's GCR. So this card is also 0 cost to materialize. You pay 3 reserve, banish it, you summon a Power Cell token rested, and you draw a card into your memory. So yes, you don't get that card immediately depending on when you do it. Typically the play with Backup Charger is that you materialize the card, then in your recollection step, before you recollect, you will pay your 3 cards from hand, banish the Backup Charger, and go draw a card into your memory. That way, you get the card draw on your recollection when you put all your cards into hand. Now, of course, I have to talk about the pricing on this as well. This was a card that was definitely a lot more expensive, you know, like 80 bucks when it first came out, and it's steadily been dropping since. I'm going to tell you again, you know, we're not looking at the financial aspect. This is a card that, you know, has been hovering since I got into the game. This was maybe like 30 bucks. Yeah, maybe like around like right here is where I saw it, like around like this 40. I didn't even see it at 40 bucks, to be honest. I always saw this card around like 35. So, or sorry, at around like 30. So I would just tell you to pick this card up. There's some nice cheap listings. As a matter of fact, yeah, I do remember it was 30 because I picked up like 3 of these because I was like, oh man, they're like going. I need to pick these up. So $20 is a really good price. And this is the poor man's GCR. You can play this in every deck. And I would. The reason I would also play this in every deck, I mean, if you could play both this and GCR, go for it, because that's 2 free draws, right? The reason I'll tell you that is because you have a card called Turbocharge. Turbocharge says, as an additional cost to activate this card, sacrifice a Power Cell. You draw 2 cards. Hey, guess what? Boom. This Power Cell, sack it, and you draw 2 cards. So a lot of people like to play this as their 61st card because it just represents 2 card draw if you're playing the Backup Charger. And it's pennies, especially for the SP3 art. If you like it, I like it. I actually kind of love it way more than this art. So definitely pick that up. I know this one isn't a Regalia, but it is worth talking about with the Backup Charger. Next up, we've got Safeguard Amulet. Now, you will get this card in either of the Mortal Ambition starter decks for Jin or Kong Ming. So if you picked up those starter decks, you have this card already. If you have not picked up those starter decks, you can come on here and get the card for pennies. If you were interested in picking up the starter deck, here's a reason to pick up the starter deck. It just matters what art you want to play. Do you like this art better? Or do you like this art better? This is the one thing I do like about this game. When they reprint some cards, they get different arts, which is really nice to see. Safeguard Amulet, you banish it whenever your champion would take non-attack damage this turn, prevent 4 of that damage. So, I mean, do I need to tell you what that's good for? Sometimes, I mean, sure, you might not prevent all of something like a fireball that's coming in for 8, but preventing 4 of that 8 is pretty nice. The same story goes for Tariff Ring, which came in the Guozha Recollection deck, the Diao-chan Recollection deck, as well as the new CL and Diana, oh my goodness, I keep saying Diana. The CL and Diana starter decks, maybe it only came in one, I don't recall, but I would say it says Distorted Reflection starter decks, it comes in one or both, and it also comes in a Mortal Ambition one. So if you wanted to pick up a Jin or Kongming deck, you do get yourself a Tariff Ring, bada bing, bada boom. Tariff Ring says, banish it until the end of the turn. Players can't declare attacks unless they pay 2 reserve for each attack declaration. You can only activate that ability during an opponent's recollection phase. So aggro decks, or when you know your opponent might have kill if they get multiple swings in, Tariff Ring is good to just say, no, absolutely not. Next up, we've got Nullifying Lantern. This is a card from DOA Ultra Edition. This is going to be around $2 to $3. This card says, cards in graveyards are norm elements. So for fire aggro, for Kentucky Fried Suzaku, you can just say, yeah, no. You don't have any fire cards in your grave. You have norm element cards in your grave. Definitely have this. Make sure you, if there's one card outside of the draw cards I tell you to make sure you have, it's Nullifying Lantern. You got to respect aggro. 0 cost to materialize. If you play this in a water deck, if you don't know about to put it on you, you can fracturize this card, which makes it a Cleric Fantasia with reservable. It does say that, you know, whatever you do that to loses all abilities, but because of the way layering works in this game, this effect takes precedence before changing its effects. So it keeps its effect that cards in graveyards are norm element, and then it becomes a reservable Fantasia. So that's, you know, really good. Here we've got the Resonance Baubles for fire, wind, and water. Each of these cards is basically an element-specific GCR. It says banish it, draw a card, but you could only activate that ability if your opponent controls that element champion. So wind resonance for a wind element champion, and so on and so on. It doesn't matter what deck you're playing. Sometimes you just say, I want more card draw, and this is a way to get more card draw. Aggro decks play this. They'll play all 3 so that they get the option to pull into an extra card draw no matter what they're playing against. So I would just tell you to pick up 1 copy of each of these because it's just good cards to have. Next up, we've got Portentous Tengu, which is about a $16, $17 card. This is another poor man's GCR. This does the same exact thing as Backup Charger. Pay 3 reserve, banish Portentous Tengu, draw a card into your memory. It is just not Backup Charger. This is just the card you play if either you don't want to get Backup Charger, you bought the Guozha Recollection, you don't have Backup Chargers, you just play this instead, or you just want more card draw because you're already playing GCR and Backup Charger. So this one is a special case. This is Viridian Protective Trinket. So you don't want to buy the Fractured Crown uncommon. The reason you don't want to buy this is because this card has been eroded. So this card, this typing, this text is no longer valid. This is the Proxies Vault version. What this means, what Proxies Vault is, if you don't know, it's the Weebs of the Shore's way of releasing fixes or new cards without having to print them in a set, or, you know, we have to wait for a set to come out to get this new print. What they did with Viridian Protective Trinket was they eroded the card so that it is not an activated ability. It is an ability that is just active while you have that card. So during your turn, water element cards your opponent activate cost 2 more to activate. That is just active. It's just there on the field and it does its thing. So you want to pick up this Proxies Vault version. The one thing I would tell you is that you don't necessarily have to spend money on this right now. The way Proxies Vault works is they allow you to print that card and use it in official tournament play as long as the card is in Proxies Vault. Once it is removed from Proxies Vault, you do have to have whatever they release as the physical print copy of the card. So whether it's this one or something they release in a set or they hand out at a Censer or wherever, then that is the version that you'll want to make sure you have. But until then, you don't really need to spend the $5 on this card. You can just print this out and play with it until it leaves Proxies Vault. And the last card we have is Censer of Restful Peace. This is the current boogeyman of the format. It is $11. You can tell it has went up in price because, hey, what does it say? Cards in graveyards lose all abilities, and that is a 0 cost to materialize. That means floating memory, done. Liminal guides, they don't have any abilities. Are you playing the Vengeful Paramour? You can't activate that because it has no abilities. So this card is really good if you are not playing a deck that focuses on stuff in its trash or its grave, sorry. So if you don't have this card, I mean, you could probably wait. If you're going to be playing competitively, then you can most certainly pick this card up if you're going to not be playing a RAL deck. If you're not playing competitively, you could probably wait because obviously this card has spiked up so much. I'm not a financial advisor, so like, don't take my word for it. But if you don't need the card right now, you don't have to get it right now at this very moment. You can see if it drops in price and then try to pick it up. But a reminder, you only need one. So if you just want to say, screw it, I just want to get it now just to make sure I don't forget it in the future, you can spend your $11. And that is it for this episode of the Staple List. If you guys like this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so that you know when future videos come out. And also drop a comment letting me know, did I forget any Regalia? I'm pretty sure I got all of them that I think that you should have. But if I forgot one, please do let me know. And until I talk to you guys the next time, thank you for watching. Peace out.